Hey guys, Troubletcat here, you're watching Meet the Weapon, and today we're meeting the SIG SG553. And we got some gameplay here of me playing on Caspian Border with the gun with no attachments. This was a really fucking good game here on Caspian Border, so I left a lot of it in, I believe. Anyway, before we get into talking about the gun in the game, as per always, we will talk about it in real life. The SIG SG553 is one of the few carbine versions of the SG550 assault rifle, which was commissioned by the Swiss Army as a modular service rifle firing the Swiss 5.6 by 45mm GP90 round, which is basically a Swiss equivalent of the 5.56 by 45mm NATO cartridge, which the weapon can also fire and is probably, honestly, more often used with outside of Switzerland anyway. The weapon features safe single fire, a 3-round burst, and full auto fire at a rate of about 700 rounds per minute. And as I said, the SG553 is one of several carbine variants of the SG550, so that's sort of the SG550 assault rifle. Yes, most of the features are the same, but this gun is based on the SG552 Commando, which was a carbine version of that rifle revealed in 1998. The SG553, released in 2009, this is a very new weapon, actually, is essentially just an SG552 with some minor changes to improve reliability, which was not very good in the 552, but I mean, that's all a bit irrelevant. Basically, carbine version of the SG550 assault rifle. It comes standard with a very, very short 8.9-inch barrel. However, I think the version depicted in Battlefield 3 is actually the SG553LB, LB being short for long barrel, which has a 13.7-inch barrel. And the reason I think this is because A, the name of the image file for the weapon on Battlelog indicates that it's the LB version. The image is SG553LB.png. And also, the accuracy of the weapon in-game is quite high compared to the G36C, which fires the same round through a 9-inch barrel. You'd expect the accuracy to be comparable if the SG553 in the game was the standard 8.9-inch barrel version. So I think this is meant to be the long barrel version of this weapon. The SG550 is the standard service rifle of the Swiss Armed Forces since 1990, and the 550 or one of its carbine variants, like the SG553, are employed by a small number of other countries around the world, Germany, France, the United States, India, a variety of places. Not a huge number, but, you know, a few. So, the weapon in the game. At first, I really didn't like this gun. I got this unlocked back when the co-op requirements were much higher, and I was really looking forward to getting it unlocked, and I didn't end up caring for it really much at all at first. But honestly, when I was recording these videos, it kind of grew on me. I don't know if they rebalanced it or anything, because I remember it being a lot worse than it seems to be. I remember often feeling like this gun was shooting candy, and my bullets just didn't really kill people, but using it now, I didn't get that impression as much. I actually liked it a lot more. And I'll probably be using this a fair bit in the future. As you would expect, the handling is actually very similar to the M4A1. The barrel is less than an inch different. It's about an inch shorter. And it uses the same round as the M4A1. So it's not really surprising that it feels sort of the same way. It does have a lower rate of fire. The M4's rate of fire is up around 800, 900 rounds a minute, so this gun has a slightly lower rate of fire, which does have the benefit of making it more controllable in full auto fire, although the M4 in this game... Actually, I think in the game, I sort of feel like this gun does have a little bit more recoil than the M4. Just a tiny bit more. Basically, though, in the game, this is a nice, good, very accurate carbine with sort of moderate stopping power, same as most of the other carbines. I used to feel like it's shooting candy, but it seems about the same as the others to me now. And sort of a middling rate of fire. Basically, the way I describe this is, and I don't hate it now, I kind of like using it actually, I don't mind the way it feels at all, but I'd sort of describe this as, it's like an M4, but worse in game. It's kind of like an M4 with a tiny bit higher recoil and a little bit lower rate of fire, but other than that, it's pretty similar. I think it might be a little bit more accurate, base accuracy than the M4 is. The bullets from this, I felt like quite low spread, very straight, and as you'll see in a minute, I did end up liking it a lot with an ACOG sight for that reason, but I mean, I'll get to talking about the attachment loadouts that I used when we get there. To be honest, I, again, like the G36C, there's a lot of attachments that I often use that I really don't like with this gun. So, I'll tell you now, you're not going to see me using a suppressor or a heavy barrel on this. I didn't like the suppressor because I still felt, with the suppressor on there, the long-range damage was not quite good enough on this carbine. And, holy shit, that guy who just killed me had 37 M4A1 service stars, 3,700 M4 kills. That's kind of ridiculous. I guess he really likes his M4. Not that I can blame him, it's a good gun. Nemesis victim 60. Anyway, getting distracted, actually talking about what's going on the screen. Fucking ridiculous, I know. Anyway, as I was saying, you're not going to see me using a suppressor because I felt like it killed the damage too much. And the heavy barrel, I really liked keeping the recoil super low on this gun, and the base accuracy was already so good that I didn't feel there was any need for a heavy barrel there. So, you know, a couple of attachments that are often good that I just don't happen to like on this weapon. You could probably rock this with a 6x sight. I didn't try it in this video, but if you're into using those like long-range scopes, for whatever reason, high-power scopes on guns that are not sniper rifles, I bet with the accuracy this would be pretty good with the 6x scope, although the recoil is a little higher than you might want. But I mean, I didn't try that out. You'll see soon what I did. I don't know, I left in, as I said, I felt like this is a really solid game, so I left in quite a bit of this, because I had maximum enjoyment here, and almost blew myself up with a hand grenade, but actually it was just styling, you know, I just threw that so that when I jumped out the side of the building there, there'd be an explosion behind me to make myself look more badass. Completely intentionally. See there, I went 29 for 7, which is, by no means, a bad game. So the first loadout I used here was the ACOG foregrip and a laser sight. With the low recoil, the ACOG's quite good on this, and the laser sight's basically, I don't like the suppressor, I don't like heavy barrel on this, so why not throw a laser sight on there and have better hip fire range? And since you've got the ACOG as well, the laser sight is going to cover you for those distances where you don't quite want a 4x zoom just yet. And, you know, keep you accurate at sort of longer, short range? Long range for hip firing, but you know, not really long range, actually, at all here. Small as everywhere. I'm such a pro dude using my rocket launcher on infantry, but as I've mentioned in other videos, when playing the engineer kit in general, you know, never be afraid to use your RPG or your SMAW to reach out and touch somebody if you can't hit them with your bullets. People, you know, complain at you, they'll say it's lame, they'll call you a noob and stuff like that, and I mean, it's true, it's easier to kill somebody with a rocket launcher than with bullets, you only need to aim near them. But if you know, if you can't land shots on them with your primary weapon, yeah, switch to that rocket launcher, blow that wall they're hiding behind the fuck away, and get the kill. Nothing wrong with that, you're playing to win, right? It's something that I don't think people should complain about either, because if you're running around pretending your rocket launcher is your primary weapon, somebody's going to roll up on you at close range with an assault rifle or something and blow you the fuck away, and you're not even going to have a hope of a chance. So you got to be careful when you do it, but you know, never feel bad about using your rockets on infantry. just you know, go for it, guys. It's a-okay with Troubletcat to do that. And I'm a poet, and I didn't even realize it until just now. See there, me taking out a few dudes. It's a really solid gun. With the 4x scope, I do like using single fire on this a fair bit, and I think I do up here. Because the recoil is pretty small, but with the ACOG, you can see a bit more of it, and at these sort of medium ranges, that single shot is going to work out great for you, and you can see here, I pick up some dudes with it pretty easily. I mean, you can hammer on the trigger really hard. I don't really like the 3-shot burst on this, because the first shot hits, like, the recoil on the 3-shot burst feels sort of very sudden and sharp, whereas with full auto, you can sort of sink into a nice pattern where you're compensating for it nicely. Single shot, obviously, you know, you just keep tapping on the trigger, everything's fine. I feel like the 3-shot burst on this gun, the recoil gets you a little bit, basically, where you prefer not to be gotten by that recoil. See here. I love this map, Gulf Roman. My team ended up winning this game, which made me very happy. It was pretty close since we've got like 20 lives left. We end up the entire of the bomb site as I die, and everything is actually absolutely okay. Absolutely fine. So on this last loadout, we're going to see, well, I actually tried a few different things on this Sharky Peninsula game, but you're going to see me using a hollow sight, a foregrip, and a tack light first up here. And I realized I hadn't used the tack light in a while, and I mean, since the patch, I don't feel it's really OP anymore. But still, as soon as you spawn, remember to turn your tac light the fuck off if you're going to use one. I don't want to be responsible for people blinding their teammates and getting spotted by their tac light when, you know, they're fighting at long distance and stuff like that. But this loadout worked pretty well on a map like Sharky Peninsula where there's a lot of indoors, a lot of tight quarters stuff. So, you know, you keep your tac light off, you go into a building, though, where you think there's enemies, you turn that shit on, come around a corner, the dude's blinded, surprised, and you just gun him down real quick, not even a problem. If you're not feeling too comfortable with the hipfire accuracy, you've just got a CQB sight on there, so you can always, you know, just aim down sights and get them that way. And this was a really solid loadout on this gun. I really like this. And you'll see in this game I messed around with a few different sights. I didn't like the red dot sight because it looks kind of weird on the gun. Iron sights are good. I tried this with a 3.4 times sight. Again, it looks kind of weird on the gun, but I do really like the 3.4 times sight, so I might be using that a bit in the future. I also tried in this match, and you'll see in just a second, the flash suppressor on this gun, which, to be honest, isn't really necessary. I feel like the flash suppressor is meant to be sort of a long-range attachment, right? Because it hides your muzzle flash, not your sound. So if you're up close, they're going to fucking hear you shooting, and they're going to see you, obviously. But if you're further away, you slap the flash suppressor on there, shoot out of some bushes, they can't figure out where you're firing from because the sound's far enough away, they can't figure out exactly where you are, and they don't see your big old muzzle flash giving you away there. So, I mean, on carbines, the flash suppressor is maybe not the best attachment in the world, not really necessary, but I didn't mind it on this. You know, it brings the accuracy down a little bit, the flash suppressor, but this gun's accuracy is already pretty spot on, and I didn't feel like it was too bad having that on there. You know, it was still quite accurate even with the flash suppressor. So that's an option that is available to you that you'll see me using in just a moment here. And I guess that pretty much covers, you know, the gun. I've said most of what I have to say about it, so we'll just take a look at the gameplay here for the rest of this game and chill out. There's not much of this video left, but I did leave in, you know, a bit more. This life, I don't know, not a lot of action, but I left this in a lot. I guess somehow I knew preemptively when I was editing this that I was going to have a lot to talk about in this part, just sort of going through all the different attachments on this gun and what I thought of them. So yeah, that's good. You see, I actually unlocked the flash suppressor in this game, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna slap that on when I die. Have a go with that. And then I did. You know, that was actually a thing to do. I backed out of this game early, so I don't know if my team ended up winning or losing, because I really wanted to get this video up today, and I knew I was going to need time to edit it, to research the gun a little bit, to record the commentary, so I backed out of this game early. I don't know, it was a good game, though. It was pretty even, so I felt kind of bad about that. You see there, I had my RPG out to kill a tank, and then there was a dude. Thankfully, I was able to roll to my SG553 and kill him, but the Abrams behind me was a slight problem. So yeah, here I've got the flash suppressor and the 3.4 times scope. And as you can see, the 3.4 times scope, kind of funny looking. That's pretty much the biggest downside. I did find it to be a good scope on this gun, but the fact that it's kind of funny looking means I probably won't be making a huge deal of use of that. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. As always, let me know what you thought of the video. Next up will be the QBB 95. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Until next time, Troubletcat out.